Alright, The Walking Dead Alone is a new episode that just came out. Today's like the 9th or something, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. Or whatever the Sunday is. You know, you can look at the date, find out for yourself. But and being alone is a heavy theme of this episode. This episode follows mostly the events with Daryl and Beth, and then also the events with Bob, Sasha, and Maggie. So I'll do Daryl and Beth first because that's the simplest one. So after the events of the previous episode, they are I guess Daryl's teaching Beth how to track and how to use the crossbow, and they're tracking something. It turns out to be a walker. And as Beth walks up closer to get a better shot at, shooting it, she steps in what looks like a bear trap. And so her ankle's messed up, so Daryl's literally carrying her to a bunch of places. And they end up in a funeral home. And they're holed up there, and they find food, and there's a lot of interesting moments, like Daryl sleeping in a coffin, and there's a nice like heartfelt moment because he's like, because Beth's like, all right, we need to, when we leave in the morning, and Daryl's like, we can stay here, maybe the people aren't that bad, but he'd said that there's very few good people left. She goes, what made you change that? And then there's awkward silence, which I guess is him saying you, and then it's just weird. They hear clanging, and they think it's a dog at first, and Daryl opens the door, and it's a bunch of walkers. So he tells Beth to run, he takes care of the walkers and gets out of the house. But then when he gets outside, he sees her bag on the road and he sees a car driving off. So he's like, oh no, Beth's been kidnapped, which, sucks. So he goes off and he runs after her, and he's running for a while, and he gets tired, and he just sits there, because he's like, I'm never going to find her. And then I guess these bandits show up. And I guess it's I think it might be the bandits from the most recent episode. With the most recent Rick, Carl, and Michonne episode. I think it might be them. I could be just drawing a weird conclusion, but that's what I think it is. And so, I don't know, I guess he's gonna join them for a little bit, even though they're not the best of guys, but I mean, he doesn't have much of a choice. And then with Maggie, Sasha, and Bob, they're walking, and Bob and Maggie both want to go to Sanctuary, or the Terminus, which is the Sanctuary, because one, they think Glenn's going to be there, and they think everybody's going to be heading there, whereas Sasha is a little bit more skeptical. She believes everybody's dead. And she says, Glenn's dead, and she's talking to Bob in the middle of the night. And Maggie goes off on her own. And so Bob convinces Sasha to at least go after her for a bit. And so they go, and they see that Maggie's also cutting up the walkers and leaving messages for Glenn telling him to go to Terminus. And they find a couple of these. And then when they reach a town, Sasha wants to stay and Bob wants to go after Maggie. And so then there's a nice little heartfelt moment, Bob kisses her, and it's he keeps going and she stays, and at first she's very, very sad about it. But then she looks out the window and she sees Maggie's out there. And she accidentally startles the walkers, so she goes out to help Maggie take care of the walkers. Turns out Maggie, was sorry for leaving her and Bob, and so they were sitting together and whatnot. And then they decide they're going to go off afterwards. They're going to find Bob. They're going to go to Terminus because, Tyrese might be there, and then, hopefully Glenn will be there. And they meet up with Bob while he's walking the railroad tracks, and they continue walking together. And then at the very end of the episode, we see Glenn, and he sees a map showing where Terminus is. So I don't know if that means he's going to go there. I don't know what that means. So hopefully he's going to go to Terminus then. So, yeah, probably there was a couple cool parts of this episode. I thought Daryl dealing with the walkers in the basement of the funeral home is pretty cool. And also the whole first sequence with the fog. I missed like the first 5 minutes of the episode, but I don't think too much happened. But yeah, Maggie, Sasha, and Bob had to fight the walkers in the fog. And it looked like Bob got bit, but then I guess they just... he just got the bandage. He just kind of nicked the bandage. He didn't bite. Like, he bit the bandage and he didn't bite him. Because I guess it's, a couple of days later he's still fine. So, yeah. All in all, I guess, I don't know. This was an okay episode. It wasn't a lot of people apparently didn't like the last episode, but I liked it because it was good character development for both Beth and Daryl. This one just, I don't know. It seemed like a lot more of a filler episode than really a lot happening. I mean, sorry. I mean, not to be stereotypical, but I saw the whole Sasha and Bob thing coming. I was just like, they're gonna put the two single African American people together. Not to be racist or anything, but I mean, that's honestly what I saw. And I mean, not much happened with Daryl and Beth. I mean, they hinted at something before, and now they're hinting at it again. And now, I mean, it's just with only 3 episodes left, a lot can happen. So, this is gonna be a little bit of a shorter review, but honestly, again, not much happened. I mean, it wasn't. It's not a bad episode, but it's definitely not one of the best episodes. So, I'll talk to you guys later, and yeah, bye.